This week was the one-year anniversary of the terror attack at Abbey Gate in Kabul, Afghanistan, that left 13 of our service members dead. Among those lost was Lance Corporal Kareem Nakui. Joining us now, his mother, Shana Chappell. Shana, thank you so much for being on the program.
Thank you for having me.
This is a very dark week and a very dark reminder of what happens when we have incompetent leaders and uncaring leaders. Can you reflect on this last year? How has it been for you and your family?
It's been really difficult for me and my family. Obviously, losing Kareem has been more than I can handle. But on top of it, it was also more than my oldest son could handle, and he ended up taking his own life this month. But you know, we still never got an apology from the so-called leader.
I very much apologize for that. I'm very sorry. My producer didn't brief me that your other son had also taken his life. Can you expound on that? I remember reading about that. And the pain is just overwhelming. It hurts the soul.
Yeah, my oldest son, he and Kareem were close. All my kids are really close. And as August was approaching, he had started expressing how much he missed Kareem, how it was unfair that Kareem was gone, asking me what I'm going to do about it, how am I going to get justice, stuff like that. And I was trying to explain to him, like, you know, what can I actually do? And then he started expressing he just wanted to be with Kareem. Had told me if something ever happened to him, asked me if I'd bury him next to Kareem, and I told him, yeah, when he's old. But then on August 9th, he took his life.
The profound grief and pain of a grateful nation is probably nothing close to enough to cover the wound that is left by the loss of one and then two sons. Have you gotten reach out from the White House on this anniversary? In the preceding block, we played that Karine Jean-Pierre, the spokesperson for the White House, said they'll release a statement to the families, and then they said that they'll always have you in their prayers. Have they had you on their phones? Have you gotten a phone call or anything?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They can make all the statements they want. Like, those statements are meaningless. It's been 1 year. 1 year, and this administration hasn't even talked about them at all. They've made sure they disappeared. Yeah, we've gotten nothing from them.
What would you say if you got a phone call from Joe Biden? I mean, presumably, according to Karine Jean-Pierre, you won't. They straight up said they'll release a statement. That's got to be some very cold comfort. If Joe Biden were to call you, what would you say?
If Joe Biden was to call me, I would ask him if he and I could have another face-to-face meeting. I wouldn't want to speak to him on the phone. I want to speak to him face-to-face. Again.
Please unpack that for our audience who grieves with you and who loves you, but who grieves with you and has some righteous indignation for the way that your family's been treated. But what did you say to him the first time?
Well, he interrupted me. I was trying to explain to him that I was never going to get to hug my son again. I was never going to get to hear his laugh again, see his smile. And he interrupted me to let me know about his son, Bo. So I interrupted him and let him know this wasn't about his son, it was about my son. And then he interrupted me again to tell me, I'm just trying to tell you I know how you feel. And I wasn't trying to be rude to him. I was clearly very angry, but I wasn't trying to be rude. I interrupted him when he said he was just trying to tell me he knows how I feel. I explained to him he doesn't know how I feel. Not to tell me he knows how I feel, because he doesn't. And the reason I was like that was because his son died from cancer. And to me, I was face-to-face with the man that I felt was responsible for my son's death. And he wasn't apologizing for it. He was trying to make this about himself and about his son. It really upset me. And then he rolled his eyes and his head at me while I was still talking, because then I did start getting a little more aggravated, and it was coming out that I was getting aggravated. So I think they're called Secret Service guys, whatever. They moved my son and my Keiko away from me, and then they stepped up to me. And then Joe Biden turned and he walked away from me. And when he got a few feet away, I did yell at him. I said, "Hey, Biden." And he turned around and he looked at me. I said, my son's blood is on your hands, right? All 13, their blood is on your hands. And then he turned his back toward me and put his hand behind his back and like waved it up as if, okay, whatever. And that was the meeting with him.
Ma'am, you said in your comments just there that you didn't mean to be rude and you weren't intending to be rude, yet it seems the only explanation for Joe Biden to do this, looking at his watch, is to be rude. This is what Joe Biden did during the dignified transfer. There's no other way to interpret this.
He didn't care.
Please.
He could care less. He didn't care at all. I watched him check his watch 5 different times as if he was thinking he had someplace better to be. And to me, like, where better does he have to be? Like, nobody cares about him. Like, seriously, America does hate this man.
Again, second time I'll say it, the profound pain and grieving that you are expressing, it's cold comfort, but we grieve with you. We are deeply troubled and saddened by this. Can you give a message to the people who care about you? Clearly, the Commander-in-Chief does not, and that is very sad. But to the people who care about you and the people who care about your family, what can we do to help? Can we say prayers in our places of worship? Can we support a nonprofit? Can we do something to assist your family?
Prayers are always welcome. We definitely need prayers. Another thing that would help is people to remember all 13 names. Remember them, say them, talk about them. You'd be surprised how many people didn't hear about what happened in Kabul. Like, they see my truck, the bed of my truck is wrapped with all 13 on them. And I have people come up to me all the time and say, who are these kids? Why are they on your truck? I tell them and they say, I never heard about it. And I explain to them that's because this administration wanted that forgotten about very quickly because it was complete failure. And in the process of that failed withdrawal, they got 13 kids killed and several others wounded. So that's why they haven't heard of it. But it is surprising to me how many people have not heard about what happened to Kabul. So I would really appreciate people to continue showing love and support for our fallen 13 and don't let them be forgotten about. Biden wants them forgotten about. I don't. I want him to remember his failures, which is pretty much everything he does.
That's why we're doing the show this week, and it does seem to be so much, there's so much news happening, and the world we're living in is, the news cycles are like not even 24 hours, like 24 minutes. And so it is easy to forget. It's easy to move on to the next story, and there's some people who can never move on. So we grieve with you, and you have my word that my family will be praying for you this Sunday.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And we encourage our viewers to do the same. Thank you so much for being on the program.